Welcome to a new Smart Money video on mistakes that leaders make, part 2. If you missed part 1 of the video, please be sure to check that out. But what we're going to cover is mistakes that leaders make and ultimately hurt an organization. We know that leadership is vital, and if you get it right, it is an accelerator of growth and profitability for a company. If you get it wrong, however, it is something which is weighing down on a company, can be very costly, and certainly demotivating for anybody under that leader. So what do you need to avoid in order not to break your organization? That is what we're going to look at today. If you like getting videos on personal growth, business and finance, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. The first mistake we're going to look at today is that about favorites. It can be very easy to fall into the trap of having favorites. You work with someone and you know what? They actually get the job done. They're reliable, they're dependable. And so over time you start to form a relationship, and that relationship causes a preference to take place. Now, there is not anything inherently wrong with having good relationships with people in a business. In fact, it is vital for the right functioning of a business. However, when there are conflicts or when there are decisions to be made in a business and those biases are coming into play, that's when it's a problem. People will begin to notice it and they will become demotivated. High performers will realize that actually, because they're not the favorite, because they're not in the inner circle, so to speak, they have no chance of succeeding. And honestly, what high performers do, they simply look elsewhere to get that fulfillment, to get the success and the career progression that they're looking for. So mistake number 1 is having favorites or creating an inner circle. Mistake number 2 that we're going to look at today is not leaving the technical behind. Often what happens is that someone will have technical skill and ability within a business, and they will then get promoted into a position of leadership. Their day-to-day now becomes about managing others and providing vision and understanding as to how to get to the future and what the future even looks like. Now, the problem comes in when that leader continuously dives into the technical details of what's been done. So instead of leaving it to others, they themselves take it on themselves. I have been guilty of this in the past, and this is what happens, is that actually it becomes counterproductive. Instead of you managing, leading, helping, mentoring, coaching, and encouraging people, you end up doing the technical work. And you create a space where everyone respects you for that technical work, and they come to you and they say, please, can you do this? Or on this project, Brad, you need to be really involved in it. And the problem with that is that it creates a space in the company for you to perform technically, which actually is a massive problem, because you should be focusing on managing and leading people as opposed to technical delivery. Now, of course, if you're in a smaller business, this is okay, and there's not enough resource and staff to go around, then sure, you get your hands dirty as any good leader would. However, if you are in a business that is the scale and size where the roles and functions can be rather separate and deliberate, then this will cause massive problems, and you will ultimately slow down the progress of the business. If you're enjoying this video, please do hit the like button, as it helps out the channel in a big way. Mistake number 3 that leaders make is actually not being a leader, but rather being a manager, and being a manager only. Now, it is vital to be a manager, and it is really important to bring a sense of order and logic to what's happening, to manage people and to facilitate that within their lives. However, if there is no leadership present, but it is expected from you, this creates a massive problem. And the problem that it creates is one of going around in circles. Without vision, people tend to just do the do, and they keep doing the same things over and over and over. There's no sense of progression. There isn't taking the company from one place or taking the organization from one place to the next place. It is the same thing over and over. And so leadership is needed to break out of this circular pattern, to push forward into new things, to break apart the dry day-to-day stagnating nature of a business, which takes place if honestly you just manage it and never lead it. If you keep doing what you did before, maybe you get moderate growth. But if you do something different, if you can see something different, you can get exponential growth. You can totally transform the track that a company is on. And that is why mistake number 3 of being a manager only and providing no leadership ultimately leads to an inefficient organization. Mistake number 4 is an interesting one. It is about not taking the tough decisions. In any organization, there are times where there are very difficult decisions to make. People are often aware of them. The employees, all the different members of the organization, they're aware of the tough decisions to make, and they're waiting on the leader to make those decisions, to take a step forward or take a step in any direction. But a mistake that leaders make is that they wait too long. They know the right thing to do, but they wait. Months can go by, sometimes years can go by without making that decision. And ultimately what happens is that the organization will just slowly but surely die. It loses energy, it loses profitability, it loses people, because there is something critical or a number of critical decisions to be made that are not taken. I hope that you enjoyed the video today. Please do remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you have enjoyed it, and share this video with someone else, because together we can create an abundance.